She told me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of giving Trench an honest review? Because I feel like it's an overrated album. Okay, Trench is the new album by the musical duo project Drake and Josh, also known as 21 Pilots, and it's a musical project I haven't been able to get behind for the whole entirety of its existence. I mean, I knew them at 15. I think I discovered them at 15, and at 15 I liked what they were giving me. But then, as time passed by, I realized I do not like their music. So when I saw this album being released, I was like, no, thank you. But then I saw that it had a critical acclaim, and I told myself, who, what kind of music reviewer am I if I don't try to broaden out my horizons and try to make amends with a popular band that I do not like? So I heard this album, and my opinion on it is that it's not bad, but it isn't as good as the critical acclaim tells you it is. Let's just jump into it, dude. Let's just break it down song by song. It's dope. It's a dope bass line. It is catchy. It is groovy. It's very Muse-like. I feel like it's very, very Muse-like, this song, and it has kind of that same epic-y thingy they got going on. 21 Pilots always had that same epic Hollywood movie soundtrack they got, but it goes experimental and it goes to broaden the field. And even if it has a cheesy ending, I feel like it's a good song. It's a really good start, and the good start doesn't stop there because the next song, Levitate, is a pretty impressive song. I feel like it's their best rap song ever. It's fast and aggressive, and the delivery is very trap-like. I feel like it is heavily inspired by the trap genre, and it's glory years. I really like how they cut off the vocals at the third bar. Like, I really like how the rhymes come in the third bar and the fourth bar is instrumental. I felt like that was an original and dope, just an all-around cool idea. Plus, the lyrics are very honest, very self-aware, very authentic. And that isn't something I can always say about 21 Pilots. We'll see that later. If you know, Morph is really interesting instrumentally, like pretty much like the whole start of the album. You got some jazzy, groovy bass lines. You get an Eminem-like delivery by Tyler. Like, this guy, whenever he goes into Eminem like delivery, he delivers. Literally, he does well. I mean, it falls into the emotional and into young love and all the subjects 21 Pilots always fall into. But I feel like it is not that cheesy as always, and it's not that forced as always. It's just a good song. Next song is My Blood, and this is where I feel like 21 Pilots kind of go off rails with their positivity and with their forced optimism and motivational messages. I will light up and go with you. It's cheesy. It's pandering also. I don't feel like it's authentic. I mean, the instrumental in this song is not bad. That's what it saves. That's what saves it. The bass lines and the synths and all are cool. I feel like this even the chorus is very Random Access Memories by Daft Punk like. But yeah, the lyrics are bad. That's when we go to Chlorine, and I feel like all we just talked about is the good part of the album, and then it starts to go downhill, bro. Chlorine is such a cheesy song. It's such an overused subject as well, taking a drug. Music is like drugs. Creating love, fucking everything is like drugs because you get obsessed, and when you don't have it, you're sad. The thing I hate most about this song is that they start with a very acid jazz thingy that sounds amazing. When I first heard it, I was like, oh yeah. They let it go. Like, they do one bar of that, kill it with fire, and go on to do a very bad melody. The one thing I don't like about 21 Pilots is that the compositions are almost always super formulaic. They always go into Doric, epic style chord progressions, like. You know what I mean? And then you got a melody that does. It feels like, just Chlorine feels like it's coming from their first albums. You know what I mean? It comes from Gold Pavilion or whatever it was called, and I don't like that because that album was bad. If one thing saves this song is the vocals. Tyler's vocals are dope, are well sung. Kind of shows off his pretty wide range. But then after that, this is the song I hate the most on this album, probably. I feel like it is a shitty song with a shitty message that shouldn't be said. What the fuck was up with the song? Why the hell do people think this song is a nice love ballad? The message behind it is awful. Well, for you, I would get beat up by someone stronger than me, and I feel like that is such a dumb message to tell your younger audience, especially being 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots audience goes from 14 years old to 19 years old. I mean, I include my generation in this. I'm not saying I'm over that and I'm ahead of that. I'm just saying you got people that are still learning from life and that are still looking up to role models and up to life lessons that they can get from music and films and TV and whatever. You just kind of like a sponge in those years. So, and you make a fucking love ballad that is saying, hey, love is about getting beat up by a guy just because he approached my girl. What the fuck is that message, dude? What are you saying? I feel like it's super irresponsible, and it's so formulaic. The composition is so easy going, it's so effortless. It feels like a love song in a. It feels like, you know, when John Hughes puts a song with lyrics that relate to the character at the start of the movie just to show that he hasn't learned and that he still has some shit to go through to mature up, and at the end of the movie he puts a more mature lyrics song. I feel like this song would go at the start of the movie. Neon Gravestones. This one is a hard one to talk about because the message is something I agree with. Glorifying suicide, romanticizing suicide, especially on celebrities, and celebrating them because they finished their life earlier, is fucking bad. And I agree that we should celebrate what people do in their lifetime because we are not sure that there is an afterlife. We are not sure if there is relief after death. So when someone that needs to go away and to end his life, and someone that's got mental issues and depression issues and all, and decides to kill himself, it's a courageous thing to do, but it's not a thing that should be celebrated. It's a thing we should be more aware of clinically. It is not artistic to kill yourself, and it is not an art piece. It is not part of your niche and message. It's just a thing that came from a really, really deep state of mind and depression and clinical depression. It's scientific, it is medical, and it is human, and we should just look at it with that approach and try to help these people. But the thing I don't agree with is putting it against an manipulative instrumental. I don't want to be controversial, but I feel like this instrumental is purely written around the lyrics, and I'm not saying that you gotta put a banger with this fucking type of lyrics. I'm just saying putting a sad piano, pretty piano instrumental, and with a little ambience, and deliver the lines with a broken voice like if you were about to cry, is super manipulative. It's disingenuous with your message. You're saying such an interesting and genuine and important message, and your approach to delivering it is so inauthentic. I cannot get behind it. The deepness of the lyrics are there, but the deepness of the song gets lost within the delivery and the instrumental and the execution of the lyrics, because then it just feels surface level. It feels like like if Hollywood made a movie about suicide, you know, if a Hollywood blockbuster, summer blockbuster, super superficial, super artificial movie made something like a story about someone kills himself with this same message. This song would be the fucking soundtrack to it, the whole 2 hours. I cannot say the message is too real, and I cannot say the message is completely given with it just because of the instrumental. Next song, The Hype. It's cheesy again. It's like poetry people write at 15. I don't want to be mean with the lyricist. He writes, like Tyler writes some pretty dope lyrics. Neon Gravestone has pretty dope lyrics. Legend later too. This one I feel like it was, you know, just okay, let's go. I know it's a song about him being younger and starting this project, but I feel like if you're gonna make a song that says, hey, younger me, it's all going to be okay when you're fucking rich, of course it's going to be okay. Of course you need to be optimistic if at the end you end up rich. Like if you were a YouTuber with 100k subscribers, would you write this song to yourself? Probably, but not with this approach, not with, you know, all that effort in the basement is gonna be worth it because now you are fucking blowing, dude. I remember writing in my basement, my tapes, my talent. It all paid off, and it can pay off for you. No, it can't. It's about chance. Give up on your dreams. I gave up on mine. At least there's an ukulele in this song. At least they fucking bring out the ukulele. I was waiting for it the whole album. I feel like 21 Pilots writes good ukulele chord progressions, okay? I feel like they're strong in that, at least. Nico and the Niners. Fucking awful song. So why do I say that? I say that because this song feels like it could belong in Blurryface, and Blurryface is a trash album. Like, you know that reggae rap? I have nothing against reggae rap. I just have everything against using fucking... No, fuck, wait. Hey, you don't know what... It brings nothing new to the album. Next song, I started to get super tired with Cut My Lip. I started to get super tired because this album just started feeling repetitive and all the songs started to feel the same and have exactly the same message and have exactly the same mood and do exactly what the 21 Pilots have always done. Forgettable songs. I guess the synth is cool. I guess the synth is a new thing in the album. And the next one, Bandido, is the same. Where's all the things that I liked about this album at the start? Where's all the bass lines, the groovy bass lines? Where's all the smart wordplay? Where's all the new experimental, getting out of the comfort zone, trying to be better 21 Pilots thing? This is just a pretty piano, I guess. And there's a line on this song that is nicknames they give themselves to uninspire. It's exactly what is going on with this whole middle part of the album. It's songs that aren't really the real talent and the real potential we've seen at the start of the album. Songs 21 Pilots are giving themselves to uninspire and to, I don't know, pass the time. The ending is again kind of strong. You have some interesting instrumental and the finally return of the bass lines in Pechita, and you got some pretty funny lines. I mean, I don't know why they named the Pechita Jason Statham. I thought that was hilarious. I don't understand the reference. It's not, I mean, I'm not in American culture, but it was fucking funny still, you know. The ending of this song is okay, and then we move on to Legend, and Legend is honestly the best song of the album. Probably. I feel like Legend is the only one that really got across the message of 21 Pilots and really got across the mood that we're trying to set. You know, that optimistic, like things may go bad, but there's always an exit thing. I feel like this song is the only one that delivers it well. It's authentic. It is not what we were hearing before. It's a nice goodbye to a familiar. And it shows that this group, it shows that this guy, Tyler, in his delivery can be authentic and can be honest with himself. You know what I mean? And it shows that just by staying boppy and by staying groovy and then by not falling into sad cliche machines, 21 Pilots can make pretty impactful songs, and the lyrics on this song are impactful. This song hit me. It's a dope song. It's punchy, it's well written, it is human, It deals with a hard subject without having to be melodramatic about it. Finally, Leave the City again. It feels Hollywood like. It feels like the end song, the perfect end song for a movie. But I like how they don't end the story. I feel like this album is the strongest lyrics wise when it's just telling the story that they're trying to tell and being metaphorical about it. This album, last song, Leave the City, is definitely a good case for that. It tells a story. It is metaphorical about it, and I love that the story doesn't end, because I feel like if you are going to follow the philosophy of optimism and force positivity like 21 Pilots do, you kind of have to be skeptical about endings. I'm not saying the philosophy is wrong, and I'm not saying it's dumb. I'm just saying telling yourself it's all going to be okay at the end. Telling yourself, there's light at the end of the tunnel, so fucking, that, it's pointless. It doesn't lead you anywhere. It doesn't lead you. Happiness isn't no to you just because you're optimistic. But if you say to yourself, I'm going to be optimistic about trying, and I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to just try to get out of the tunnel and just do my best, and we'll see where it leads me. I don't need closure. I don't need something owed to me. I just gonna try. I'm just gonna see where it leads. That can help you in life. A lot of people look for closure in their philosophy and their way to approach life, when closure is boring, dude. You just gotta go with what you have, work with what you have, and try to improve the things you can improve and accept the things you can't. And that optimism is going to help you more than just saying, you know what, it's going to be okay. You know what, my basement tapes are gonna sell well. This last song definitely has that kind of message by not closing the story. I felt like that was dope. All around, this is a very well mixed, very well produced. By the way, Paul Meany's input on this album, I feel like improved it a lot. And this album is definitely better than any efforts by 21 Pilots before. Definitely. It's their best work so far, easily. Yet it isn't as good as the critics say it is. I mean, I just generally, I honestly felt like it isn't that great, I feel like this album may suffer from a symptom that is current with albums, that is, it has a great start and it has a great ending. So obviously the impact on the public and the impact on the listener is going to be greater, and you're going to come out of it like, fuck, when I put it on, it was good, and when it ended, it was good, so it was a great album. We are forgetting this album is fucking 15 songs long, and much of it is completely useless. It just adds on to my thoughts of they are cliche, melodramatic, very cheesy musicians, when you have at least 8 songs in this album that don't necessarily say that. I feel like you could have cut to 10 songs. A 10 songs album is perfect length, and it would have been a better album than this. But just because you fucking made it long, and just because you added some completely useless and completely bad songs, I'm gonna have to not give it such a great grade. I'm giving this album 12 sur 20. That means 12.